G'day everyone, I am the man called Kemosabe, the man with the plan from the land down under, and just a quick thought on the recent reveal that Jessica Drew will be seen in Beyond the Spiderverse 2 fighting crime while pregnant. Now this is something that happened in the comic and there was pushback against it then as well. Many people, I'd even say most people, didn't like the idea. It was something the feminists and the MAGA chuds could mostly agree upon. It's irresponsible to her health, the health of her unborn child or children, as well as the well-being of the villain she's fighting and any civilians or victims or potential casualties and collateral damage. A pregnant superheroine might panic while placed in danger when the unborn child is in danger. And this is Jessica Drew we're talking about, Spider-Woman, the original Spider-Woman. I know she did some questionable stuff while working for other agencies over the years, but she's not the Punisher. She doesn't just kill. But somebody with Jessica Drew's superhuman strength levels could kill a street-level supervillain or thief with a single poorly judged punch. If the Vulture, who she is reported to be fighting in Beyond the Spider-Verse 2, puts her baby at risk, what guarantee is there she won't kill him? Accidentally or just out of desperation. Fighting crime while pregnant makes a character a willing liability. It makes their unborn child a liability. It's selfish and dangerous. Most importantly in this comic book superhero context, however, it's unheroic. It is little surprise then that the very people who wrote this are themselves unheroic. They are the sort of people that laud and applaud the unheroic. The woke writers at Marvel responsible for this are the same sort of radicals that call an unborn baby a clump of cells, that call murder 30 days out of the womb necessary healthcare and a right. Am I wrong? Find me the Marvel editor, the Marvel writer or artist that will stand up and say the recent laws being passed that allow for post-birth abortion, as they call it, are wrong. There are none. They won't. So either they believe the laws are good and right and necessary, or they don't. If they are supporters of these laws, they are patently unheroic. They are monsters, reclassifying the status of living beings to justify murder. Bloody, unnecessary murder. And if these editors and writers and artists don't agree with the laws, and they won't stand up and say they are wrong, then they are perhaps even worse. They are the people who will do nothing, as Edmund Burke said, those that allow evil to prosper. And one who allows evil to prosper through inaction is by definition unheroic. Marvel thought this story was a good idea. Someone pitched it, someone reviewed it, someone signed off on it. It was sold to the audience as a stunning and brave rah 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 for women everywhere moment, a you go girl moment for people with wombs. Hey, I'm not a biologist. But do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the disconnect? The same radical feminists currently staffing Marvel's writing and editorial pools that push this storyline as a victory for women everywhere would advocate for late-term and post-birth abortion. The same radical feminists pushing this storyline as a victory for women everywhere would then turn around and refuse to define what a woman is. I'd bet money on it. They have to. It's the current narrative. Even if these writers and artists had the empathy and critical thinking skills to examine the issues and realise that they're on the wrong side of history, they can't possibly speak up for fear of being labelled a wrong thinker. The childless pro-abortionists who classify unborn children as parasites in a woman's body pen a comic about a female superhero fighting crime while pregnant and say that's extra heroic, a supposed hero putting an unborn child in danger. These writers and editors will use the unborn child in danger angle for drama, to raise stakes, to get you scared for the safety of the characters, but they'll happily protest against anti-abortion laws in other states and countries. This is all done disingenuously. They think nothing of putting a fictional baby in danger because they support actual living babies being killed. How can we read these stories, or further, watch this animated film, knowing this? How can we people who have mothers and sisters and daughters? Many of us in this guy-centric hobby are fathers ourselves. We have children. How can we be expected to sit and laugh at the sore back jokes or the gosh my boobs have grown jokes, or draw back in faux fear when Jessica Drew and her unborn child are in mortal danger? This is tasteless, bad faith storytelling. It devalues the amazing things that women can do, playing them for laughs while dangling them in dangerous situations for cliffhanger drama. Marvel writers don't care for babies, real or fictional. If there was ever a reason for a superheroine not to act, to refuse to don her costume and fight crime, this would be it. No one would blame her for putting the safety of her unborn child first. It's what women should do. It's what we'd all want our women to do. Our mothers who put us first, our wives who fight to protect our babies, our daughters who allow our legacies to continue long after we're gone. These women who value and prioritise their children are heroic. Jessica Drew was heroic once. Marvel didn't see things like that and have now ensured that the legacy of this character, who has been around for more than 40 years, is that of a woman who would do perhaps the most unheroic thing a woman can do: endanger her own child, for her own ego, for her own sense of self. Coming from childless, narcissistic cat ladies who pride themselves on deconstructing traditional values and the characters that represent them, can we be surprised they'd cannibalise their own sex's greatest achievement for clickbait and spite bucks? I'm only surprised it wasn't done earlier.